Hello there, it is I, Braden Survives. I am coming to you in a very different manner. I personally like the voiceless meme voice personally. But today we have a very important task that I stated earlier about what I was going to do. I'm currently doing this late in the morning, so that's why I personally am doing the text-to-speech. But this video is about the SMP and I'm going to point out several details that casual viewers may have missed throughout the videos. This will be a detailed analysis on the actors' reactions and the small symbols and codes hidden throughout the story so far. Okay, let's start off simple here. We will start at the beginning. At the first ever SMP release.
The Crafting Dead, a game that a lot of us have almost come to know too well.
Okay, we are skipping a few scenes here.
1921, 15, 4, 15, 18, 20, 8, 5, 3, 1, 21, 19, 5, 22, 5, 1, 18, 5, 28, 5, 7, 15, 15, 4, 6, 9, 14, 15, 20, 8, 15, 1, 18, 2, 8.
About everyone who watched this may have noticed that the trailer states a code. This code is the one from later in the episode, which is stand for the cause we are the good find the arch. We as the view and I as a character still do not understand the meaning of this, but more information will be presented later. We as the views also notice that there are flickers of memories or ideas throughout, like the soldier, Braden Survives, and even a wither. Either these are past memories relating to how this all started, or these are messages informing us of future challenges. However, what is clear is that this group wants us to understand that they are working for a common good. However, as all historical events of the past have presented, what is best for this group always isn't the best for the subjects. First episode start off simple with a small group going back to the place they first awoke without a memory of the exact circumstances that got them there, and discovering a hidden bunker below the small complex.
Yeah?
I
need to set a marker at my location.
After breaking through the heavy wood hatch, the group descend to find that there's a small shelter with supplies and a strange number ramblings. The group believe this to be some form of covert communication and record their finding on the matter. However, the character, myself, that we follow is somewhat aware of these codes and understands they link to his past. We learn Braden is plagued with distorted dreams, which perhaps confirms that the message we see at the end of the trailer was connected to Braden. We also learn that Braden is extremely caring of his group and protective of the island residents, as well as the fact that the responsibility of it affects him heavily. Braden strangely begins to recognize and decode the code without any decoding skills whatsoever. He is completely unable to recall the events of what got him there, but possess the strange ability to understand certain codes. Even more suspicious, after a large attack or infected raid on the compound, the group has become accustomed to receiving supplies from an unknown group. The group believes that this is the military. However, as one member of the group states, if it was the military, why would they not send assistance directly? And if it's this group's goal to protect them, why are they not doing it directly? Personally, I believe that this group is rewarding the group with supplies to keep the group there for an unknown reason. Play by their rules and stay where they tell you, you get rewarded. The first episode ends with Braden returning to the place to communicate with the group in fear of the safety of his people. This episode is filled with undiscovered and revealed secrets. The episode opens with Braden sneaking out to secretly commune with the unknown person or persons via the signs. However, when he returns, we find that the person has left another code. But while returning with the book, he is caught and scolded for leaving. This shows that distrust isn't uncommon among the group. However, Braden's paranoia is reaching levels of schizophrenia for an unknown reason, almost primal. It is almost as if the dreams tell more about his past than he wishes to tell or reveal, in this group's connection to his past. startles him the next day almost as if his communication awoke in the beast. A sign appears on the island with an unencrypted message. However, the writer directly refers to him as friend. Either he possesses a history with this group or the group is trying to further push the fact that they are the good guys. Braden gives a speech, establishes laws, enforcement system, and even intelligence agency. Braden is doing everything right but makes one fatal mistake. He begins preparing for attack or defensive system in case of this group. This single-handedly aggresses the group, and this happens. He was spreading the idea that the group was perhaps a threat, and this opposed their objective. They needed them to trust in the group fully and couldn't deal with any resistance of any kind. So they displaced the trust in the group. One member of the intelligence agency gave false information to isolate one single member outside of the compound where he could attempt assassination of this person. The prevented trust among the group and turned their enemy into themselves. However, this was completely against his set personality. He was extremely loyal to the island and wished to protect it almost as much as Braden himself did. But even strange, this doesn't just happen once. After the supposed assassin is caught and recollects nothing of the event, something strange begins to happen with the leader of the group. He begins acting in distress and then betrays his old actions and becomes violent, kidnapping Blue. It now makes sense to use the viewers what is going on. The members of the group believe that they were embedded spies. However, we now understand certain members of the group involved with the experiment will have certain triggers that set them off and cause them to lose control of their actions. We also learn that others in the group have regained certain memories of their past way more quickly than Braden does. I believe that this was intentional so that the group would be able to more easily control Braden while he was in power and lead him to rash actions. But we learn that the characters begin to learn more about their past lives as Braden barely has even gotten to how he got to the facility. But the most alarming is what happens after Braden is relayed the information of Blue's apparent treachery. You can even take notice to the small changes as he returns.
Give me like 10 minutes.
Oh, why did you have this?
And in the detaining of Blue, Braden has what I've started calling a marked event. An event that provokes a hostile or deceitful response in the best interest of the group, setting them to almost a simple autopilot mode to where they effectively fulfill their goal. Braden fulfills this goal by removing a key witness and casting blame from the group onto himself and Blue. Braden later interacts with a dream/memory entity that reveal to him small goals of the group. Since the subtitle advice we saw before through the codes was beginning to have a lowered effectiveness on him specifically, this new entity houses the autopilot we see in action and is basically a fully reprogrammed side of their brain set to fulfilling the group's needs. Braden still isn't fully under the control of the entity yet, so the entity uses his fear against him and has him complete the failsafe marker, which was the discovery of the axe. This axe apparently has something to do with the extremely hostile and dormant side of his action. Base of his actions, he perhaps holds a hostile and violent past. Then finally he has a final moment of protocol for the process and receive a earpiece from an unknown person to receive unknown new orders.